Bowls Club, obviously bowls happening here, and lavatory bowls. There's some pun being attempted here.
Yes.
It's the man who got locked in a lavatory in his bowling club. He's sort of in Aberdeen, in fact. And apparently the handle fell off the outside of the door, and then he closed the door behind him, and that handle fell off, and then he was stuck in the dark for 3 or 4 days.
4 days, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best holiday he's ever been on.
How was Bobby Ewing involved in the story?
What, the Dallas character? Oh, Patrick Duffy, is
wasn't he the one who was dead and then it was all a dream?
The answer is that Bobby Ewing was not involved at all. As you rightly say, he was... Sorry, but Bowling Club secretary Bob Ewing...
Yes.
Yeah, Bob Ewing eventually freed Mr Leggett by opening the toilet door using a screwdriver after a cleaner had heard cries for help. The cleaner explained nobody had been looking for David. A wife may have wondered where he was, but he's not married. Yeah, kick it. What did the Telegraph invite its readers to do about this story?
Track him down and kill him.
They invited their readers to have their say. One reader asked, I wonder if he tried using a 20p, 50p flat edge as a screwdriver to remove hinges on cubicle doors and using the door as a battering ram to smash out. Or, unscrewing, use his shirt for grip, the pipe, which causes a flood, but with a metal implement you can then smash out or smash a toilet pan whose sharp edges could then be used to pierce the main door. Did he try any of these things?
When they heard him inside shouting out, they said, don't ignore it, it's just a cry for help.
Here's a comment from a Telegraph reader called Malcolm.
Yeah.
This story reminds me of a report many years ago of a cleaner getting stuck in a factory lift for a fortnight. She survived by drinking the contents of her mop pocket. While a third comment gets to the nub of David Leggett's terrible story, saying quite simply, what a stupid sad f***er. Meanwhile, who else has been found after going missing for a while?
Mr Canoe from Seaton Carew.
Well, you were in the right water. They found Mr Darwin and...
Mrs Darwin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they didn't really find her. She came back, didn't she?
I think the police like to take credit for it. Anne Darwin, who was arrested by 6 officers armed with submachine guns... when
they like a joke, don't they? No point in having the guns if you can't use them.
This is the announcement of her arrest later that day by Detective Superintendent Tony Hutchinson.
At 9:15 a.m. yesterday morning, a flight from Atlanta touched down at Manchester Airport. On board was Mrs Anne Darwin. She was wearing dark trousers, a cream cardigan and a red coat. She was carrying a small hold all. The weather in the UK at that time was obviously cold and wet and was a far cry from what Mrs Darwin had been used to in the recent past few months. During the journey back to Hartlepool, Mrs Darwin was pale, drawn and very quiet, which is understandable.
Why do police officers now think they're working for Mills and Boon?
How have locals in the Darwins' hometown of Seaton Carew paid homage to the Darwins?
They have written twinned with Panama on the local sign, haven't they?
That's excellent.
That's good. Now, this is the Scotsman who spent 4 days stuck in a lavatory. Unfortunately, Mr Leggett hadn't taken a mobile phone into the toilet, so he couldn't even respond to the scrawled offer to meet Big Dave for red-hot action.
The best bit of graffiti I saw, actually, it was in Soho in London. Someone had put on the wall, all gays are gay. Touché. Well done, you.
In all, Mr Leggett spent 4 days in the lavatory. His first words when he came out were... In all, Mr Leggett spent 4 days in the lavatory. His first words when he came out were...
OK. This won't work now.
No. There'll be dead silence, won't there?
Yeah, it will.
Right, OK. In all, Mr Leggett spent 4 days in the lavatory, and his first words when he came out were, I'd give it 10 minutes if I were you. Right, give me a second to do a bit of magic stuff with cards here, because I've got a prop.
My favourite bit of
Is this round 5?
Round 2. Yeah.
Round 1, last two.
Oh, no,
just
5. No,
less than
sorry.
an hour.
Round 2, yeah.
This is the extended 4-day version.
Right, hang on then.
Can I get a television licence while I'm here as well?
No. Come on, bear with me. It's my first time. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Hang on. Right. Yeah, right. Ready? I know I'm going to do it now. Well, can you get them to applaud it so I get the back of the applause to lift? And,
Jeez.
So now... Yeah, stay like that.
So it must be Christmas.
To round two. And it's time for the Have I Got News For You Wheel of Scrooge, which is a roundup of stories all demonstrating seasonal bad will. And just to get into the spirit of bad will, I'll just put the Scrooge cap on. There we are. You know the game, buzz in, if you know the story.
Yeah.
So here we go with the first spin. Just on the yellow there.
Yeah, that's Alan Davis. I think Alan was in the papers this week. He attacks a tramp that bit his ear.
Paul, but it's lovable windmill residing in magical detective Alan Davies, who bit a tramp's ear because he confused that real persona with his TV persona of drunken, potentially violent bastard.
The victim was called Paul Mucklefatrick, and as you say, he claimed he was set upon after he called the actor by the name of his most famous character, Jonathan Creek. What was Alan Davis's concern after the incident?
That he'd be in jail at all?
He was worried about what the headline would be the next day.
Absolutely. He told the Mirror, "This isn't going to look good, is it? The last thing I want is another negative story about that obnoxious Jonathan Creek star. Well, don't worry, Alan, we think you got away with it." One of the ironies is that Alan Davis is, in fact, a vegetarian, which must make a second attack more likely, because the tramp now has a cauliflower ear. Let's have another spin.
It's a woman dressed as a bell.
Very good.
Signifying a happy Christmas, and she's obviously a lollipop woman, and she's been told not to dress as a bell because this is confusing to kids, because they're used to seeing the uniform. She comes out as a bell, a mini came round the corner, hit the mini was broken, the bell was intact, she was taken to hospital, her ears were still ringing, Alan Davis came out, bit one of the ears, and now she's come out and she's all right. And this all happened in Leeds.
More or less, yes.
Yeah.
This...
More or less, it can't be, I just made all that up.
Yeah, it was laced with essential truth. This is children's road crossing supervisor, Margaret Russell.
They're not called lollipop ladies anymore. Did lollipop lead to obesity? What's the problem with that?
Yeah, she's been wearing fancy dress at Christmas every year now for 20 years, and she's now been told to stop because of the health and safety issues. And we have a look at some of the other costumes she's been wearing over the years. So there's a soldier.
Good. That's good, that's lovely.
Yeah, and another one.
I think that's elf and safety.
Good. And another one.
You'd be annoyed if you put your gas bill in that post box, though, and then you got cut off over Christmas.
And she's sitting at home eating your gas bill, roast potatoes and sprouts. Not so funny then, is it? Yeah.
Well, why did she do it?
She's mental.
This is lollipop lady Margaret Russell, who's been banned from wearing festive fancy dress costumes while on duty. The council has refused to allow her to stand on a zebra crossing, dressed as a giant Christmas bell. They also turned down her second choice, a zebra costume. OK, let's have one more spin.
Like you say,
So who is this? It's in her name.
What's her name?
It's in her name.
Oh, her
Mrs.
name is...
Tinsel.
Mrs. Merry Christmas.
Close. Not Mary. It's a much better name.
Joseph.
Alice.
No. Begins with a C.
Chris Carroll.
No, Christmas
Carol
is...
Christmas.
Carol Christmas.
Carol Christmas.
Fabulous. She must hate her parents.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Carol Christmas has had to move into a stable. Nearly a stable.
Yeah.
It's a conversion.
Yeah.
So do you know why that might be?
There was no room at the inn.
It's to do with why you had to move out of your house some
I
time
got
ago.
flooded out of my house.
Must have been awful.
Oh, if I'd have moved out, got a new one.
Well, staying with festive accommodation, what Christmas offer has Travelodge come up with?
If you stay with them for Christmas Day, on your own, they'll be quite happy to supply a gas pipe to your room. Which you can suck on intermittently.
No.
CO2 for you.
No, there are...